Hello, my name is Maureen Davis Cathy. I guess I can say Maureen Horton Davis Cathy, just in case some of you don't know who I am. I am the widower of Jerry A. Davis Jr., who was an instructor and assistant coach and head basketball coach at Councill High School for many years. Also a social studies teacher. Jerry came to Councill High School to assist Coach Kellum with the football team. They needed an assistant. And of course, everybody in Huntsville, when they heard that they had found this guy to assist Coach Kellum, said, "Oh, we feel sorry for Coach Kellum, for this guy, because he ain't gonna be able to get along with Coach Kellum. Nobody has been able to get along with Kellum." And you know how we talk negative about things. So when Jerry heard it, he said, "Well, watch me. I'm gonna get along with him. I know that Coach Kellum is the head football coach. Whatever position he tells me to coach, I'm gonna coach it. What he tells me to do, I'm going to do it." So, if you would look at the history of the games that they won, you know that they did make a good twosome, and Councill High School was outstanding in football. Of course, now Jerry was the head basketball coach, and Coach Kellum was his assistant, and that worked out very well also. You decide if you're going to be, as Jerry said, professional about this situation, whatever it is that you've been hired to do, and you just do it. But they both had outstanding careers at Councill High School, football and basketball, and academic. Now, I am a graduate of Councill High School, 1946 class. And of course, when we went to Alabama A&M or wherever we went to college, we all stood out as good students, excellent students. Mr. Rooks, Mr. Ward, Martha Beals, Frankie Mitchell, Nell Rice, Anthony, Barbara, Hunley Jones, all of us were classmates at Councill High School. And of course, we had outstanding teachers. Mrs. Fearn, algebra, you got that algebra. And Miss Kendricks, you got that English.
Right.
And of course, Edward Johnson, you got that English too before he left Councill High School and went to the college to teach. And then Mr. Richards was an outstanding principal. He was kind of laid back. People said that he wasn't stern enough, but you can get children to do for you without hooping and hollering and yelling and beating on them. Mr. Richards just would kindly, softly bring you in his office and sit down and tell you what it was that you had done that was not the proper thing to do. You do it anymore. So if you did, a note went home to your parents. And of course, you got good support from parents during that day. And of course, if you got reprimanded at school, you got another one when you got home from your mama and your dad. So you didn't want to get into that kind of trouble.
Right.
And Councill High School, my days at Councill High School were wonderful. I came to Councill when I was in the 6th grade. And of course, I went on through, as I said, graduated in 46, went on to A&M and graduated in 1950. And that is where I met that great guy named Jerry Davis Jr. was at Alabama A&M, because Jerry's from Birmingham. And he grew up and was raised in Birmingham. But Jerry and I got married in 1950. And of course, I lost him in 1989. He colon cancer. But he had an outstanding career after he left Councill, after they closed Councill High School and scattered the teachers all over the place, they sent a majority of them to Calvary Hill, and they sent some to Stone, and I can't remember if any of them went to Butler immediately, but I know Jerry went to Calvary Hill to assist Mr. Rice, Jody Rice.
Okay.
And then, of course, they needed somebody at Butler to kind of take care of those black children that was coming to Butler from Councill High School. You know, you know, they didn't know what to do with us.
Okay.
They didn't know how to handle us. In other words, that is really the icing on the cake.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. They needed help. So Jerry had a reputation of having a very calm demeanor, you know, because I guess they had watched him coaching. And they brought him to Butler as one of the assistant principals. And of course, that is where the majority of Jerry's championship basketball team, he had just won a championship down in Montgomery that year before. He had outstanding basketball players, all the Bellman boys and all of that, the brothers. And they were all going to Councill High, to Butler. And of course the coach at Butler didn't know, he knew, he had sense enough to know that he didn't know what to do with those black boys and how to get them to play for him.
Mm-hmm.
So that summer, prior to the school opening, that coach literally stayed in our kitchen, our breakfast room kitchen on Pulaski Pike,
Okay.
talking to Jerry, asking him questions about each player. How to play this guy, how to play this guy, what is this guy's temperament? And then he went further than that. When school opened in September, he called Jerry, come to all my games and sit on the bench with me.
Mm.
Well, you can't fault the man. He did have sense enough to know that if the guys looked over there and saw Coach Davis sitting on the bench, they were going to do what? Play the game like Coach Davis had taught them to play.
Mm.
And actually, the coach at Butler, that's what he did. But I give him credit for being foresight enough to know that he needed help. But of course, they weren't going to let a black man be a head coach at a, so-called white school.
Mm.
So Jerry stayed at Butler for 17 years, and he retired at the 35th year in this educational arena. And then, of course, he passed away in 89. Those of you who have looked at this on the internet, if I made some errors, I'm sorry. You just said, well, Maureen is 80 years old and her memory is not as good as it used to be. But I told these two young people who came by my house to do this segment that I don't know how well my memory is, but I'll do the best that I can, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I am a tiger first and a bulldog next.